we shouldn't put any of this footage, Tim.
Sex, drugs, and rock and roll. That's what Billy Talent is all about, actually. Well, except for the sex and the drugs part. I'm Ben, and along with the boys Aaron, Ian, and John, we're going to be hitting the road for our new record in search of world domination. And you're going to be coming along for the ride. First, we go searching for the Holy Grail, a teapot in London, England.
Where? No f***ing teapot.
Next, we hit the cathedral in Cologne and get swallowed up by the Crazy World Cup fans. Then we're in Berlin, where Aaron and John pull their groins and I get electrocuted and almost f***ing die.
I feel weird. I feel like I can't breathe.
And finally we get rained on and watch cows hump in Switzerland.
That's hilarious.
It's a wild and sometimes nauseating trip, and you're going to be beside us for the whole way.
What are you doing right now? Come with us.
Come with us. Every day there was a battle. Oh boy, this is going to be interesting.
What about me?
I gotta go through this. My life doesn't suck.
I'm not a little crump anymore.
Trust me.
No, he got no nookie.
I can't go out like that.
I think that they're making fun of me.
Sometimes I just like to steal. I had no idea it was going to be such a big deal.
It's cool to grow,
This is my life.
but you have no idea.
This is our life, and this is the diary of Billy Talent.
The new album, Billy Talent 2, is being received better than we could have dreamed of.
We were all pretty surprised and generally excited that our fan base is stuck with us, and that's an amazing thing to have.
It's basically the first real tour that we've, before the support of Billy Talent 2.
We're happy with it, and other people are happy with it. And now we get to play the songs live.
June 9th, 2006.
We are in London, England. And what else do you do when you're in jolly old England than go on a search for a teapot? So a couple friends of mine are getting married, and my girlfriend and I have found this wicked tea set for them.
I don't know where I'm going. I don't know what I'm really looking for, but I'm going to try to do that for my girlfriend. I'm nice, eh? I'm cute and sweet. That's good.
So we just get on the tube, and we kind of have a basic idea of where we're going.
This is the famous Oxford Circus.
But we're not really 100% sure.
I have no idea where I'm going. You're going to John Lewis on Oxford Street, 2 blocks west of Regent Street. Now, what the street are we on right now? I say we walk north. All right, that's what I think north is.
So we hop out and we're walking around, and I'm just trying to ask dudes on the street, like, to just kind of point me in the general direction of where we're going. To which they weren't so friendly with me.
Miserable. We found it.
So we finally find the shop that we're supposedly looking for, and looking the way I do, I look a little offensive to some of the older people who don't understand that you can have tattoos and not be in a biker gang.
Not looking good.
It's a bit tough to get a straight answer sometimes from people when you look a certain way.
Not looking f***ing good.
First store sucked,
This is probably the worst television that's ever been potentially aired.
and so we headed off to store number 2.
The Da Vinci Code, it's the teapot code.
So we get to the second store, and nice shop, I guess.
Missing link. The missing damn link.
They have everything else, except for the effing teapot.
The lady was actually kind enough to write down 2 other locations.
So I left the second store and to the third store, and by this point you can see that I'm visibly getting a little bit more agitated.
No f***ing teapot.
And I just want to call my girlfriend and tell her to piss off, and that we're going to get them, a strainer or a coffee maker instead. But I like to satisfy my woman.
This is just getting unbelievable.
There's one last shop on my list. So the last store we go to is named Liberty. So you're thinking Liberty, you think liberation, you think you've finally succeeded in your mission, but
I don't know.
But no such luck.
I failed in my mission.
Well, in a perfect world, I would have found the teapot and everything would have been, cheery.
In Hollywood, I would have found the last teapot and I would have been falling off the top shelf in slow motion. I would have dove and caught it.
And we would have walked away in slow motion with, hands in the air and high-fiving each other. But unfortunately, art doesn't always mirror life, and life's hard sometimes. So I get back to the hotel, and there is our tour bus that's going to be guiding our souls and bodies for the next couple weeks. So it's very rare that you meet people with names that are actually quite funny. Our bus driver's name is actually Mel Gibson. Isn't that awesome?
We came up to him and said, "Hey, how you doing, Mel Gibson? Good driving today, Mel Gibson."
Hey, it's Mel Gibson.
You have to imagine he's probably gotten that his whole life.
It's Mel Gibson, man!
So we fall asleep early, get a good night's rest, and now we're up and it's time to play Doningtons. Donington's, the Download Festival, it's a lot of drunk people, it's a lot of sunshine, it's a lot of dust, a lot of beer. You know, what else could you ask for?
There's garbage everywhere.
It was a very strange festival. All the biggest names in rock were playing it. Strange humans walking around in strange outfits.
I saw the dark side come out, Darth Vader, Stormtroopers, and of course anybody that's born in the 70s is going to be a big fan of Star Wars.
And then stormtroopers walk by, which supposedly is a Gnarls Barkley crew. I think I'll dress in Star Wars outfits.
Darth Vader. At least he didn't slice my head off with a lightsaber.
I've never done so many interviews in my life.
Busy day, lots going on, and for the last interview, I, flirted with the microphone.
Ben likes to joke around in interviews and stuff like that, and I think they had like the boom mic hanging out, and he kind of just rubbed his crotch up against it, and the interviewer caught on, and she kept rubbing the mic into his crotch.
Now, I like joking around with anybody, but at the end of the day, it has to be under my terms. So during the interview, I'm done with the joke, and she continues to poke me. I felt very violated and weird. So once I was fondled by a microphone, it was now time to play. It's about time for us to play our rock show, but this weird setup where there's airplanes and an airport right above your heads.
I was noticing the airplanes all day, like they were passing by maybe just about a kilometer above your head, so they were huge and very loud.
You know, when people go on dates and they go to like the airport to sit and watch the planes land? You'll be playing, and then over top of you, you'll see a 747. And nothing says inspiration like a plane flying over your head while you're playing. Donington was fun. We did what we had to do. We said hi to some friends, made some new fans, hopefully, and off to Germany. I was holding onto the microphone, and I ended up getting really badly electrocuted.
You think you know,
But you have no idea.
this is our life.
And this is the diary of Billy Talon.
It's June 11th.
2006. We are in Cologne. It's actually the birthplace of Cologne. Imagine that was made of lead. So whenever we get a day off, or when we've ever been to Cologne, we decided to go to the cathedral. This place is the most amazing piece of architecture that my little stupid eyes have ever seen. I don't think you could actually get it.
Like you see it on camera and you hear about it or you see a postcard of it, but it doesn't really do it justice until you actually stand in front of the thing.
This is the back, cut to the front. See? It's funny when you're walking down the street and then all of a sudden, like, this mecca appears before your eyes and it just makes your stomach drop. It's been like 7 generations of families to build this thing. To sit there and see the detail. That's the craziest view, this one is. Look at all the detailing of all the men. And perfection. of what it is. It makes you realize that anything's possible, you know? This time, going to the cathedral was a little bit more different because it was World Cup.
It's just a massive party. It's thousands of people from different countries.
When we finally got to the church, we'd have to walk through like this huge crowd of total World Cup partiers.
It's this crazy madness outside, and as soon as the door closes, you walk in the cathedral, it becomes this very solitude, beautiful, calming place. So we walk into this place, and Aaron and Ian forget to take their caps off. They should have known better than that.
We should have known better because we all went to the Catholic high school.
I felt terrible because I should have taken it off. It was just a mistake.
So get your pad and paper out. Lesson 1, if you're ever in a beautiful cathedral, take your hat off. Don't film me. Now, we're not 100% full nerds. We still like to have some fun and have our drinks and party as well.
Just when you think that you thought the guys in Billy Talent partied and did coke and had sex with all these hookers, we actually talk about architecture and history.
You know, it was an amazing day, but we are there to perform and not to be tourists. And so off to Berlin we go.
June 12th, 2006.
Wakey, wakey, we're in Berlin.
We're going to a radio station to do an interview. What are you doing right now? Want to come with us?
I like going to radio stations because I still believe in the power of music, and it's nice that people are still, you know, playing music over the radio. What a good song.
When you do a radio interview in Germany,
We managed to take the time to make the best record that we could.
the person basically has to translate it into German.
Also nach der ersten Platte waren sie erstmal eine Weile unterwegs.
We just hope they were translating everything correctly.
Die gebrannt, jetzt ist es raus.
So, you know, I like to try things and experience things.
You want to read the traffic?
You want to do the traffic?
And I was asked to read the traffic.
Is it in German? Because I don't think I'm going to go very far.
I read the traffic and the weather in German, which I have no idea how to speak.
I have to do the traffic and weather.
So they give you a piece of paper and it's all written out in German and you have to try to pronounce it the best as you can.
So it's 28 degrees and Mist wolkenfreier Himmel. It's a tough dialect when you don't know anything. Widden ganz viel Schnollenschen?
Sonnenschein.
Sonnenschein? I was awful. Den Muschelmüllerstraße. I don't know what that is. I was just flat out awful. I was embarrassed. Straßen ist von Bussenstraßen. I thought I sounded good, but wegen einer geplatzten Wursten wohl gesperrt.
Weltmeister. Wollen wir mal gucken in Rome?
So I leave the radio station
I love Three Doors Down.
and head back to the venue for the rock show. You get bored on the road, and even a bottle of water can be fun if you're bored enough.
That's right.
So then it turns into me having this thing on my head and John trying to throw it off. And it hit me in the face.
You just hit me right in the forehead.
No, I was aiming for his forehead.
I bet you I could jump over that.
Yeah, that's something that John and Aaron sometimes think is a good idea, to try to jump over things.
Do it. I bet you can.
I always encourage them to do it because it's a good laugh. Aaron seems to think that he's still 17 years old and that he's limber. Well, looks like he didn't make it. He's not scoring extra points for this dismount.
No way you can jump over it.
And then John decided to up the ante.
I'm gonna go to the hospital right now. You wouldn't know it to look at me, but I'm an extremely high jumper.
Oh, my groin, I think.
But I think I pulled my groin and/or chota.
These are the things that make us nerds. So after the hurdles, we decide to sound check for the show.
As I'm checking my vocal mic for my monitors, I notice I'm getting zapped on the lips from the microphone.
So we were tying rags over it, trying to find foam to put over top. We just searched for everything. So that seemed to go away. And then all of a sudden, I'm grabbing the microphone, and one of our friends who work with us accidentally hit the main power switch. And when he turned it back on, the place wasn't grounded properly. And so I saw this white light behind me. And then next thing I know, I was holding onto the microphone, and I ended up getting really badly electrocuted. I feel weird. I feel like I can't breathe.
I've never seen you jump like that before.
So I thought I was gonna f***ing die. I was holding the mic when it came back on, and my hands feel all numb and weird. Threw my whole everything off. I felt really odd.
Everything is on
The
a light
PA
switch
sound
up there.
system is on a light switch, so it's sitting there doing lights.
That's why I was just like, oh,
Let's see what this does.
I guess the funniest part of this is like right after that happened, Ben is kind of standing there trembling. These two dudes are standing right behind us.
How are you?
Oh, sure.
Of course, Ben right away is like, oh yeah, sure, no problem. Like, just puts on the autograph mode.
So I just got electrocuted.
Ben's awesome. He got electrocuted, and he's still doing what he has to do.
Maybe I'll die tonight.
sure.
I wasn't worried about him. He was talking.
You don't have to. We can. I'll do it. Okay. So after being shocked and feeling like I was gonna die, what a better thing to do than shake it off and play a show. The crowds in Germany are amazing. From the second you come out on stage to the very last note, they are into it. It's a country that definitely loves music, and it's awesome to play there. So, Berlin was shocking. Now we're off to go to Switzerland. June 18th, 2006. It's not every day you wake up in the Swiss Alps. We are in Switzerland. I was kind of having a shitty day. I woke up kind of on the wrong side of the bed, and I opened the door to the bus, and no! And this is what I saw. I'm a city boy, and I love the city, and, you know, I would never move out of Toronto, but this place was pretty inspiring. Can you believe it, though? Like, really? Now we're gonna go look at a river.
We decided to go on a little bit of a nature walk. We're walking through this field, and we hear all these cowbells going off.
Let's go talk to the cows.
Let's go see cows.
Now, what would Switzerland be without cows with bells around their neck, right?
Well, they have real cowbells around their necks. Like, that's pretty old school.
Now, there's no f***ing way in hell I'm gonna go over, because I'm a little bit afraid of animals. What's he doing?
He's gonna go see the cows.
Ian was brave enough to venture into the lion's den.
One of those is a bull, man. I don't know about this.
This one cow is just totally staring us down.
Look, there's one with horns and staring right at us.
He starts coming closer to the fence.
That's a bull. Do they charge if you go near? I don't think they'll like us.
This stare-off kind of continues until he just finally gives up and turns around and
Whoa!
proceeds to have sex with another cow.
Everyone likes sex. Other species like sex as well. Cows really like sex. This turned into, like, orgy-a-thon.
Every time he turned around, they would start f***ing, then we would turn around themselves.
Made you feel a little weird.
We just started laughing our asses off and gave him some privacy after that.
See you guys later.
So after Humpfest 06, we decided to go back to the stage because it was about our time to play the show.
Storms are brewing for Billy Talent in Switzerland right now.
We have this thing in Billy Talent that we call the Billy Talent Black Cloud Curse.
Black cloud over Aaron's head.
We just have terrible luck. And if something can go wrong or f***ed up,
Right before we go on. Unbelievable.
it will go wrong or f***ed up.
Bitter irony.
Absolutely beautiful all day.
Now it's scarier.
And I've already just been electrocuted in Berlin, so I'm not really interested in almost dying again.
Should we ask the promoter if it's safe to play? I just talked to one guy who said it should be fine.
But as Queen says, the show must go on. And that's when the downpour begins.
So we're sitting there and going, oh man, this kind of sucks. But then, you know, there's 50 kids that really just hung out through the whole thing and were dying to see us.
And about 2 or 3 songs in, we noticed as all these people started running and running and running, and the next thing you know, we had this massive crowd in front of the stage. It was pretty cool.
It was a great feeling knowing that people are going to brave the weather just to see our band.
It was a hell of a show. And then if you don't believe me about this cloud that follows us around, as soon as we were done playing, bang, blue skies. The tour was beyond our wildest dreams. The album's finally out and people seem to be enjoying it, which we're really proud of. And, you know, so far so good.
Thank you for watching
Diary of Billy Talent.
Thank you very, very, very much for watching our diarrhea on us. Not as cool as you thought, huh? Sorry. I feel like Ashton Kutcher on